The most recent recruit, number 5, Craig Boardman, only his second game for the club, and he's played against Albion this season for his previous club, Peterborough.
Well, for the biggest game of the season for Peter Wright, he sends out Halifax with 3 centre-backs. Not a sweeper, no one deeper, but 3 centre-backs who will be asked to perhaps hold Bob Taylor and Andy Hunt at bay. Look for David German and Peter Craven pushing forward on both flanks to provide the sort of service that Jamie Patterson and Steve Saunders, with what, 15 goals between them this season.
Today, Tony Lang returns in goal after a bout of flu. The shortage of centre-backs means the midfield player Ian Hamilton is in defence today. No shortage of scoring power in Bob Taylor and Andy Hunt, backed up by Halifax-born Kevin Donovan, who had a spell here on loan from Huddersfield a couple of years ago.
Well, in his previous 3 games, Keith Burtonshaw has picked 3 different sweepers to play. I think the injury problems he has in that area has forced him to go in with a flat back 4 as we know it. Lee Ashcroft will play slightly further forward on the right to give them width. Watch for Kevin Donovan, not restricted to the left side, but able to...
Ian Hamilton headed off the line. Well, that's a bit more like it from Halifax Town.
Good movement. We said be warned about them. A little flick on here, and Patterson's through. But look how well the goalkeeper does. Spreads himself very well indeed. Drops to Saunders, he thinks he's scored. But Hamilton, that's excellent defending.
Patterson will take the corner. Oh, brilliantly! The player who had trials with West Bromwich Albion at the start of last season, they offered him a 3-month contract, whereas Halifax said you can come here for 2 years. Well, he's reminded them he's still around.
Well, I'll tell you what, the build-up was excellent, but Keith Burtonshaw will not be happy. It was like the parting of the ways. He really didn't do anything, Jason Peake, in the last part. They play a little 1-2 there and he's through, but look at it open up for him. Plays it straight through. On his weaker side, his right foot, he strokes it quite confidently into the net. Look at this, confidence there to stroke it past Tony Lang. What a start.
Ashcroft, Donovan again, who's got a little of the Matt Letitia about him. He very nearly produced a peach of an equaliser then. O'Regan, he stays on his line and leaving it for Boardman to deflect away with a crucial header. But Kevin Donovan must have thought he'd equalise that.
Can't believe the goal mouth incidents we've had already in this game. Quite incredible.
This is Hunt. That will be a goal kick.
But I think this is just instinctive. I really do, Martin. It drops to Donovan and he hits it immediately. Takes a deflection. And Dan Hayes just throws up his left hand there. And when the luck's with you, it smacks off it. And that's exactly...
Andy Hunt attacking it. Peake waiting for it to drop, which might have been a little foolish. Taylor's there again. Donovan trying to curl it. Not quite enough curve as he Halifax Town has a lead. Regan is there. Desperate defending by Peake. Saunders back on his feet again after that earlier injury, and certainly none the worse. Taking Ampadu with him. Patterson by the near post. It was, I would say, impossible to angle a header goalwards from there. McNally. Ball was played by Elfyn Edwards. There's no offside here, but Lang read it well to get there before Patterson. O'Regan, the Republic of Ireland international. Away by Billy Barr. Comes back, go for Hunt, who can bear down on goal now. But West Brom have to settle for a corner. There it goes. Too close to the goalkeeper. It is! A brilliant goal, they they've swept the length of the pitch, and Steve Saunders takes the applause. Halifax Town 2, West Bromwich Albion 0.
Well, this has got quality all over it. No matter what level you're playing at, there was no thought of just playing the ball anywhere aimlessly out of defence. Patterson makes the first run. Patterson to Saunders. Saunders, I thought to myself, has he taken too long? But no, he hadn't. He knew exactly what he was going to do. There's the ball from Patterson. Spots him very well indeed. Takes one, takes two, steadies himself and slots it beautifully past Lang into the corner.
Well, the early
minutes ago, it's a move again of some quality, it has to be said. And just how close at the end of this delivery does Steve Saunders come to get the touch on it? The header's down there. Saunders is only inches away from getting a vital touch. And at the end of the day, Lambert's header falls in between the target and the onrushing attacker. Look at that.
Taylor. Hunt alongside him. Bob Taylor making something for himself on the left foot. And it hits the outside of the netting from Donovan. Peter Craven with no room to manoeuvre. 10 minutes to go.
Well, two personal disasters in the build-up, wasn't there? You mentioned that Peake missed the ball in midfield. It was Boardman who missed it at the back. Albion going the attack. And this is a brave header from Hunt. Terrible clash of heads there, but he was determined he was going to make the cross his. And really attacked it. Great spring here. Look how early he goes up there. And he really gives Darren Hayes no chance whatsoever. Now, how brave are you, Halifax?
Well, how brave was Andy Hunt then? The type of courage that Albion were crying out for. It was a sickening clash, really. But look at that. A great block by Elfyn Edwards at the expense of the corner.
Not half. Opened up for just a fraction of a second.
Suddenly, Albion are winning the headers. But Ashcroft with the cross. Hunt's up well again. Mellon right in there. Appeals for handball.
She'd just be running the ball in the corner. But offside given, the crowd think it's all over, but it's an offside decision.
Salute a famous victory in the first round of the FA Cup, and Peter Wragg, a past master at producing non-league teams capable of slaying the Giants, has done it again. It started so well with Jason Peake's early goal. A second through Steve Saunders. Halifax so happy at half-time. And then having to suffer in the closing stages after Andy Hunt had bravely clawed one back for West Bromwich Albion. And Halifax, with a history full of hardship, have rarely had cause for celebration like this. The club that was kicked out of the Football League in May are in the hat for the second round of the FA Cup, with First Division West Bromwich Albion left in their wake.